Um, Hi, Leah. Oh, so right. So we wanted to. I was serious before when I said there's a lack for Dr. Feldman and I when we don't get to see you, because in a way teaching you guys the first year is for us the best experience, because we're discovering so many new things together, and that feeling of shared discovery is something that I think is hard to replace in other courses, even in graduate courses. I mean, there's always different kinds of discovery, but the discovery of good students, and you're all good ones here, I can see, the discovery of good students with a good instructor, there's something, for the first time around, there's something really special about that. It's also just weird. The last time we saw each other, we were experiencing one crisis, the pandemic, and now we're facing this other crisis. And Dr. Feldman, why did we decide we wanted to do this now?
Hi, everyone. I'm not feeling great this week, but in addition to the national climate, we have two basic messages. We'll reiterate them, and we'll move on with our days and whatever else tonight might bring. One is that we are here for you. We are here as we understand how difficult this period is for everyone in the country, whatever your background, and we are obviously going through this. Just as last year there was a crisis, so to now we are part of the national community, and we understand how difficult this is. Our families are, and we are sympathetic to whatever specific individual needs you have on an academic level or personally. Mm-hmm. Second, that while there is so much emotions are so raw, and there's so much sensitivity, and people are feeling afraid and vulnerable this week, we are still going to be together next week, and a week after that, and a month from now, and a year from now. And whatever actions people take, we just hope that it's informed by the spirit of core values of mutual respect, civic discourse. We don't agree. We are from different parts. Every one of us has our own perspective. Each one of us has our own experience, our own values. Nonetheless, when we come together in this shared space of learning, inquiry, discussion, there are values that are being assaulted this week, and we want to stand up for those values.
Well, I mean, some people might say not to have a meeting like this because it would become too, you can see how a meeting like this held in the wrong fashion with the wrong tone could turn into something that would be volatile. But I think what Dr. Feldman is saying is that we have worked very hard together, right? I really wish there were more people here now, more diverse people here now. We have worked really hard together to create a set of conventions of talking to one another in class. It's funny, we did it even on Zoom, right? Some of the relationships we've had on Zoom, some of the classes we've had on Zoom are the best classes I've had, right? And we want to continue we don't want to lose that. We really want to maintain that. And so part of that means, and it's very hard for everybody, but especially for younger people, to be able to bracket the strength of your instinctive feelings, and everybody has them, and to be present to a conversation where there is openness to other possibilities. Really, we're assaulted so much, and this is not unrelated to what we do. We're assaulted with cliched ways of thinking. And what we do in our classroom is I think our reading, Daniel, one way we could define what we do in our classroom is to fight against cliched ways of reading, to fight against ways of reading which turn reality into allegories of good and evil, right? So even our whole mission together is about seeing complexity. I'm not saying seeing complexity will result in any political stance, but it may result in the ability for people to tell their stories with a little bit more generosity and kindness. It's what we've been talking about all along, I think. Remember that student I mentioned last year, and she said, we learned to tell our stories with kindness. And it couldn't be truer now. Our story, because everybody is now saying, I am suffering. And the truth is, everybody is suffering. Everybody is suffering. And we don't have to validate it. We don't have to justify it. We have to listen to, in our context, on social media, you don't have to validate anything. In our context, we just have to try to listen to each other. Does that make sense to people? Did anybody want to really just, I would
Yeah.
like to keep to Daniel, do you want to go? Because you're not
That's
feeling
it. No, I just want to reiterate, wherever you are in the country, or
Yeah.
even perhaps not in the country, by participating in this program and